Sorry about keep running my mouth here, but you know when God will warn you and He put words in your mouth for you to speak to people, says no, you don't have power with it. You have to speak what He said because the word is not mine. It's as He said it before you. He told you in St. John chapter 16, in that day, it is I who speak. Isaiah chapter 52, it is I who speak. I am Him who is speaking to you. He's standing before you now, and you look at me, you're not really looking at me. Let me rephrase that. Even though you was looking at me, you see me as Curly, you're not talking to me, and I am not talking to you. It is the voice of Jesus Christ who came in me that's talking to you. That's who speaks. Because He is in me. He sent me here to warn you because I am the messenger of the covenant. I am sent by God the Father to prepare the way for the return of Jesus Christ. We're at a defining moment in history. I got to continue to say this, and I'm not saying it without slack out of these words of my own. It's a devastation. It's getting ready to happen to this world, and the people is looking for a man that who cannot save himself, for a revival to make things right. We all have been deceived by the deceiver. And I noticed the president keep uplifting and trying to erase the evilness of this deceiver every day for your face when he said the CIA have no faults. The CIA is the false. The CIA is the false of this whole world. There's nothing godless about this person. All of these things that have happened to the world up until thus far was caused by CIA. They are the reason why these wars and conflicts of war, rumors of war, and the poor man and the rich man is divided as a single person upon the habitat of this earth. They are the reason, not us. This is why God, He keeps one as a disadvantage while He gives the other an advantage. But He have a specifically genetic color code upon which He elevates, and He have a specifically genetic color code which He degrades to keep a division between the two ethnic groups of the world. Once He do this, the others became a vacuum of a divider to divide the two races from each other. Once He destroyed the bottom, which is the man who was caused, came first, was created, came a true pedigree of Adam and Eve. He will start on that mixed race person because there is no more as if the threads of a tie have one flat and you have nothing but the false spot or tie. Because the thread which came from that first man, with the black man, he was the grip of this earth. He was the foundation of this earth. He was the keeper of this earth ordained by God. He was the traction of the prophecy given unto man that build this earth. But once this traction is gone, you have a ball tie there. Those are the mills. But the rim is to consume himself in the middle of that, where he cannot, as the tire rotates, the rim cannot be placed on the ground. But he keep on cursing and cursing and cursing until there is nothing left but the rim, if God allow it, and the rim is unfit for carrying the load and the burden upon which the tire was designed for. Well, sorry if you don't understand what I'm talking about. This is the way it is. The man that was poor, they used him and they used him as the burden beast. He had no rest because he was the covenant. He had no way to survive because they said, well, if I get rid of one, I get another. But didn't know every time you slay one man or one burden beast, there's one less burden beast to carry the burden when you look and you need something to carry your burden. But yet you said, if I let him get overpopulated or get high me, someday he'll rule because that's your mindset. Keeping him removed, when you continue to slay and slay and slay, and your peoples continue to grow and grow and grow. Where you once had a person to living to serve you, to work in the heated part of the earth, where it be hot, and you can't, because of your physical structure, is not designed to work in these hot places. You as a person have little or no pigmentation. Once you have slayed all of the peoples who have the high pigment count, and they're not able to carry on because you have placed a burden on them, so they have become feeble and sick and hungry, and the earth is not feeding them, and they are the one made the least, and they be the one to begin to perish upon the earth. My God, this is your source of life. This is the engine keep you running because you have to depend on their strength to carry you, because you have said that I will not live by the sweat of my eyebrow. It was not given to me. It was given to him. And you live like a leaf. When the source of your food is shut off, the man can't carry your burden, and you're the only one left because you have caused this man and his generation perish throughout the earth. Then who is there to carry your burden in the end of the day? Even if it was not a God, you will destroy yourself because of the way you think. Do you think that you could take a weapon and put on a man and make him carry your burden every day unjustly, without wages, without pay? And you turn him out, and you kept him in the morning time when you need your home clean or your dishes washed or your food grown, you put a gun on him and make him do all these things, and you don't give him according to his high, and he perishes dying every day because you're robbing him of his strength. You're taking all for yourself. Sooner or later, he is going to either sit down and say, what am I living for? Why do I need a life when I have this life that I have to serve somebody else? How can you can't understand this? When you cause men that God placed him to love life, and to love life, they do the works here because the works is a reward, because they have done this to sustain their body, because they love the life they live. But when their man take and lose all hope and lose all the pleasure of living, then how can you rule this man? You cannot rule this man. This is where we are today in Bible prophets. This is when we see the suicide bombers drive up and blow themselves up. They say, what the purpose of living? Living life is not that good for me to continue to sit down here and cause me to transgress against a God that's going to give me eternal life. Why should I die and go down by taking on his Lord and Master and be cast in the everlasting furnace forever? And I could just die right now and go there anyway and won't have to live under his rulership, where I have to go kill my brothers every day. So what they do? They drive upside him in a suicide vehicle and blow it up, because if he don't do it, you're going to have him over there killing his brothers. You're going to democratize him, and you're going to put a gun in his hand and demand he go out there and kill his brother in the military, fighting against himself. Life is not worth all this. If you believe in right, then every man should go to his own house. Go to his own house. Tear down your enemies and don't build them up. Don't trade with nobody. This man in his house is his. Yours in your house. It don't matter how